think with all the cleaning we've been doing, being at home, that I would know where everything is. I like painting in all white for whatever reason. Makes me feel legit. This shirt is actually a beloved Taylor Swift shirt. Went to a Taylor Swift concert. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I admire her for many different reasons. I think she's very artistic. I admire her because she's so symbolic and poetic. I think that's cool. I love that she writes. I don't know if she writes all her songs. I know she definitely writes most of her songs. Anyway, I got cocky one day and thought I was an amazing painter and that I could paint without getting anything on my clothes. So I was in this shirt, didn't want to change, painted, and I got paint on my shirt, so it's like my permanent painting shirt. Super comfy. I sleep in it sometimes. I don't care that it has a little bit of paint on it. Whatever. It's weird how when you start painting, you just get so like, you're looking at a wall way closer than you ever have before. You start noticing little things you never noticed before about a room. When you look at it up close. I don't know about you guys, but my brain always starts to start thinking about stuff. Your brain just starts to drift as you do a monotonous thing over and over. I don't really know if I need to go around this. I'm just going to be safe. I don't know. There's something oddly satisfying about covering up, especially a color that you don't like. Not a fan of this pink room, but there's something very interesting that happens when the camera turns on. Like, I already am a big thinker. I get in my own headspace about stuff. It's funny how when the camera comes on, if you're already a person that self-reflects, you put the camera on and it like adds another degree to it. You're almost looking at yourself like an outsider. When I watch this video back, I'm watching it like if I was watching any other YouTube video. I'm kind of like forming my opinion about the person that's talking, whether I agree or disagree, if they seem like a valid thinker to me or not, if I like them. And I'm doing that about myself, and it's really weird. When I watch myself back on my videos, I realize, oh my gosh, I leave out so many things. Like, I have so many like incomplete thoughts. I'll start down one track and end up on another one, and I never circle back to the original point I was making in the first place. If I dedicated more time to my videos, I know that, I could make them better, but I really don't want to spend that much time on them, so it just is what it is. Mainly, I'll just have them for my kids. One day we'll be watching my videos back and talking about the things I'm talking about, and I can fill them in real time when we're watching the video. Any points that I'm missing, I'll just bring them up as we're watching it. Hope I don't have a wedgie. I'm a really slow painter. I like to take my time. I like to take my time. That's one thing, like, as you do, if you do house projects with anybody, that's a learning curve. Just figuring out what each other's strengths and weaknesses, and ultimately just having the ability to manage your expectations. It's easy to walk into a project thinking X, Y, and Z, but realistically, there's so many things that pop up that you don't plan for. That and like, there's so many things that seem like common sense to my husband because he's around this stuff more than I am. So things that seem like obvious to him are not to me. Like, I'm still learning and I have to be taught certain things. So that's a learning curve. Learning that we know different things and that that's okay. And just like accepting that we're gonna do things our own way. And not that I like purposely am slow, but I don't know. I definitely take my time more than I think my husband does. He's a lot more naturally efficient than I am. I kind of have to work at it, depending on what it is. When it comes to house stuff, he's definitely more efficient. But like I said, it's because he knows more. I mean, I think of like the first time I started working, like my actual career, I was a lot slower at first because I had so much I was thinking about. There's so many things that you're balancing when you first work somewhere for the first time. There's so many things that you're consciously having to remember, but then before you know it, you're doing things without even thinking. You're doing things without even realizing you're doing it to make you really efficient. When I was on maternity leave, I thought maybe it would be hard going back to work, being gone for so many months. But honestly, it's amazing the things that stick with you that you don't forget. But the hard part is when you're gone and things change, systems change. That part, it takes a minute to completely change your habits. You have to consciously think about those a million times before you don't have to think about them anymore. But that's the same with like, we were just talking about house routines. Like, there's a routine to paint. You don't realize it at first until you get your hands dirty and start doing it, but there's all of the dreaded prep work. Especially if you're a novice painter, there's so much cleaning, tarping, moving things. Not to mention the process to even pick the colors that you want, all the swatches and samples and returns to the store and researching what goes good where, figuring out how colors look in certain lighting or with the original scheme you have going on in the room. So like literally before I guess you even do any of the pre-work to paint, there's a process as you're figuring out what to even paint. If I use any of this content, you probably don't want to just see my bun. But anyways, I was just talking about how things are so much easier with a routine. Like, my husband and I both work full time, and while I was pregnant, we had a lot of painting to do. And it was overwhelming at first, but you get into a tempo. Like, oh, this day we spackle, this day we sand, this time we spackle again. This day we tape, this day we cut in, this day we prime, this day we do the trim. We finally figured out the best process that works, but anyway, hey, maybe that can be my pearl for this video. Things, I guess, just go more smooth with the routine. Like anything you want to do, anything new that you are wanting to accomplish doesn't have to be a house project. Like any new habit, and especially any like lifestyle changes, you have to make it a routine or you'll just like not do it. Like right before all this COVID stuff happened and we are at home, we were just figuring out our new, more efficient routine with our son because we'd only been back to work for like a couple of months, and we're kind of figuring out the balance of baby, taking care of baby going to bed, cooking dinner, working out, and working. I wasn't okay with the amount of time it was taking every night to cook dinner. Like, it was so dumb of a process how much time it was taking. And I just wanted to be home and be with my kid. But cooking is important to us and making healthy meals is important to us. So it wasn't an option to me to just like go buy fast food. I know some people do, but for us, we were gonna do that. So we had literally like just started actually like meal prepping. So like one Sunday, I literally only did it once. One Sunday, I just cooked up a bunch of stuff, and it was amazing. Like, it literally lasted us maybe almost like 3 weeks. So for a few weeks, we got into this new routine where, like, as I would nurse my son before bedtime, my husband could start dinner. So like by the time we were done with our bedtime routine, and dinner would be done. Because what was happening was we were waiting to start dinner until after our son went to bed, and then we were cooking forever, and by the time we ate and put everything away, it was like bedtime. Like, it was crazy how much time it was taking. So we like just got into this barely new lifestyle change, and then like didn't really have to do it anymore because now we are at home. It'll be interesting when we go back to work how that routine is gonna change again. Because we got out of the routine and it was a new one, so we'll see. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I brought all this up because of painting. It's funny how when you're in the tempo of doing house projects, it's really not that bad. Granted, my husband does most of this. I literally just do like what I'm doing right now. But it's crazy. I mean, you get out of the habit and don't touch a project for so long, and it's really hard to get back into it. It's like while you're doing it, you just have to like steamroll through it, or it's gonna be hard to get back to. It's funny how a lot of things that we think take so much time actually don't take as much time as we think they do. Like, I had so many things on my like bucket list of to-dos around the house. For instance, like organizing my son's closet. It's not that the task itself takes that long. It's just when you're on limited time, you definitely pick and choose where you're okay with like spending your time, you know? Because a bunch of little things together, it all adds up. I think I might start doing my videos like this where I just like do a task and I just randomly talk. Editing this is probably going to suck, so I might change my mind, but I really want my videos to be more authentic and me just kind of like processing life, not so much me like having a topic and just talking about it, because then I come off really lecture-y. I come off very like, this is a fact of life and this is how this is, and it's like, that's not true. There's nothing about life that's like, this is the way. Like, it's just, this is what I have learned so far and this is what has seemed to work, but there is no like guarantee of life. Honestly, I kind of get it like all my life. I think one of the biggest criticism I've ever gotten about myself is that I come off as being a know-it-all. And I always debated it because it just blows my mind that that's how my personality comes off, because that's the way that I think is very, nothing is black and white, nothing is good or bad. There's like a million angles to every topic, every opinion. So many things are just about perspective and how you view something. But watching myself back on video and hearing how I talk in the moment, it's just so different from the way my brain actually thinks. And it's weird to actually be on the other side of it and see how I come across, because I see what people have been saying. This color looks so weird on camera.